good morning. And welcome. Oh, I always have the big yawn. Welcome to the Off Base Podcast, the podcast carefully crafted to remind you to suck a fat one if you think you're the only one, because you're not. I'm not. I am your host. I am the Rocky Mountain no-name Jackass. And it is 26 degrees outside in the city of Aurora at 7:45 in the a.m. on January 5th, 2021. Apparently, I've taken on my British persona. Time for the jaw, as the children got dropped off. Older children, by the way, no jackets. 26 degrees, no jackets. I don't get it. Anyway. And of course, the part of the podcast that every woman loves. Ew, that is so disgusting. You spitting like that. Not that, there are any women listening to me. Why would they? My wife doesn't. Okay, people. Let us begin the journey home. Yesterday I reminisced on the ski vacation that we had in Vail, Colorado, which was just extraordinary. However, the holiday time, particularly around Christmas, was quite hectic for us, with the exception of Christmas morning. That was very, very lovely. We all got gifts that we wanted. It was very cool. But when we returned from our ski vacation, Vail, here's what I like to do. I like it when we get home and we unpack everything and get laundry started. Because the trip really is not over until you have unpacked and put all your fucking shit away. And put all your suitcases back to where they belong. Get on it. So we left Vail on Christmas Eve morning at around 10 o'clock. In the middle of a snowstorm, by the way. Driving conditions were horrific. Normally it takes about 2 hours to get from our house to Vail. And I think it took us 3.5 to get home. And there was no way that I was driving fast through all that shit. Those driving conditions sucked. Because, going through mountains, up and down hills, if you got slippery conditions, man, you're in for some backup. Traffic will back up, no doubt. So we left at about 10, got home at about... No, we left at about 9 because we got home at about 12:30. I remember that. And where it got hectic for us was within this 3-day period. I mean, it was, except for Christmas morning. So we got home, we unpacked everything because we had the ski gear with us. We had leftover food, some that needed to be refrigerated, other stuff that just needed to be put away. And also all the laundry. Now, the other reason why it was important to do the laundry was because my stepson and stepdaughter, they were flying home to see their father on December the 26th at like 5 a.m. So we get home, we do all that unpacking and shit. I had to go make my shopping list because every Christmas Eve, I enjoy participating in the Polish tradition of the Wigilia, which is a fancy word for a meatless meal. So I had to go to the store to buy all my ingredients. And what we had Christmas Eve, as we watched Christmas Carol, the one with Alistair Sims, I think it's Sims. It's either an S or no S on the end. Alistair Sims. He does a great job with it. We watch it every year. My wife has a tradition of watching that particular Christmas Carol every Christmas Eve, which we did. And our Vigilia consisted of a bouillabaisse, which was fucking phenomenal. We had the mussels, we had the shrimps. I got a couple of lobster tails. Splurged a little bit for those guys. You can imagine in a landlocked state like Colorado, seafood's a little bit more expensive. And then I also got some fish fillets to go along with it. And the bouillabaisse was fantastic. One of the things that I love, one of my favorite spices / herbs to use. I actually don't know if it's an herb or a spice. Is saffron. There's a risotto that I make with saffron, and also a paella too. Anytime I make paella, saffron is one of the key ingredients for consumption. It just gives it such a wonderful smell, and then it gives it that golden color, whatever dish you're working on. And the bouillabaisse was one of them that calls for saffron. So delicious Christmas Eve meal. Just enjoying that seafood. But so after we had the enjoyable dinner and movie, the kids went to bed. Well, no, they didn't go to bed. I started cleaning up, and my wife and son and stepdaughter started making cookies for Santa. So we had to get that out of the way. So after the kids went to bed, well, then my wife and I had to go and wrap all the presents. Why? Because we were in Vail for the entire prior week, and mainly, I'll say 2/3 of our presents arrived via mail while we were in Vail. Look at me rhyming. Oh, I'm a regular Dr. Seuss over here. So yeah, we did all of our shopping online, except for the Christmas candies that I got before we left, because I knew what our schedule was going to be. So I got the Christmas candies well in advance and just kept them in the garage. And if you live in Colorado and you don't have a heated garage, I think you're going to surmise that the garage is going to stay pretty cold, so nothing melted. So we had to wrap all the presents, and by the time we finished, I think it was 1:30 in the morning. So we started the day in Vail, driving through a snowstorm. We're very busy unpacking everything and getting my shopping list together. And then when I got home, I had to cook everything. Sorry, I gotta reset my cruise control here. There we go. And after just having that 2-3 hour period of watching the movie and enjoying dinner, well, then it was baking cookies, it was cleaning up, it was wrapping presents. Finally got to sleep, what I say, about 1:30. And then the kids woke us up. What was it? It was either 6:30 or 7. So my wife, she is a, I don't want to say stickler, that's not the right word, but very disciplined about getting good night's sleep. And oh, by the way, under fucking rated. A good night's sleep, 8 hours of sleep. I've talked about this before. Go on YouTube, just search Matthew Walker from the University of California, Berkeley, sleep expert, who has done a phenomenal job over the past couple of years in promoting the health benefits of a good night's sleep and what that will do for you performance-wise. And by performance, I don't just mean like sports. I just mean how you perform in everything, not only your job, but just your daily life, your relationships. What a huge, huge impact getting a good night's sleep will have for you. But needless to say, Christmas morning, we didn't get the best night of sleep, but we were so excited for all the kids to open their presents that we didn't mind it at all. So we got up, everybody opened their presents. I forget what we had for breakfast. I think we just had bagels with lox. I think. I can't fully remember. But we just hung out and enjoyed Christmas morning. And then I had to start preparing the Christmas dinner, which we had, I think, at about 4 o'clock, which was prime rib again. That $7 prime rib route, $7 a pound prime rib roast that I got from our commissary, which was a fucking incredible deal. So I got to eat prime rib 2 times in 2 weeks. And I did the same thing that we did when we were in Vail, which was when I went to carve it. I carved the bones off and then later used those bones in a beef bone ramen later on in the week. But dinner was great. We had a family over who didn't get a chance to go home for Thanksgiving. So there were 8 of us at the table. We played some kind of game, I forget afterwards. But then after that, we had to get the 2 older ones to bed because they had to get up so early the next morning. And then we finally had some breathing space because I think that was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. Sunday, we just chilled. Monday, I took the day off. My wife went back to work. And then 28th, 29th, 30th of December, very slow days for me working-wise. I was still getting a bunch done. But it was a nice couple days to breathe. And then our friends invited us, our friends who live in Colorado Springs. We went and took the drive down for New Year's Eve. They had us over New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. And again, same thing, New Year's Eve, there was a snowstorm. We're driving through icy conditions, but that drive wasn't as long as going through Vail, and going up and down the mountains wasn't as bad either. And that was it. Pretty much. That sums up. We had a great New Year's Eve with them. We had gone. These are friends of ours that we met back in Texas, and their 2 children are the same age as my son. My son's 8. Their kids are 9 and 7. So the kids had a blast. Our friends, the wife, her parents were in town for Christmas, and we've known them so well and have gotten along with them so well that we actually know their parents well. One time we went on a Disney cruise with them because the kids were real little, and both of their sets of parents came with us, and we got a chance to meet them then. We met them several other times throughout the years, but great relationship that they have with their parents and that we're starting to develop with them as well. The wife's parents are from Pittsburgh. I'm from Erie. So we had that little Pennsylvania connection there as well. So after we partied New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, we just kind of sat around eating an egg casserole, watching football. Then we ended up watching a movie. It was that new DiCaprio movie, Don't Look Up. That was fucking hysterical. And we were trying to figure out if they were making social commentary on climate change or on the COVID vaccine. Don't know which one it was, but it was pretty funny. Anyway, that's kind of boring, just doing the recap of the remainder of the holiday season. I'll get back to the sleep issue, though, man. I remember saying all last December of how I wanted to improve my sleep, particularly at my age, just how important it is to reset the body and recover throughout the night so you're ready for the next day. And I've been doing pretty well so far in 2022. Granted, we're 5 days in, but that's the discipline, is to do the same thing every single day. And then within that routine is where you will find creativity. And I learned that through acting work. Back in the day, when I was involved heavily in community theater in Charlottesville, Virginia, I started out as an actor, but then quickly moved to directing, and then I did some writing, and I did some producing. And going through the process of preparing a character for a role, that's really what it was. It was a matter of that repetition, that disciplined repetition on your process and on your skill. And then all of a sudden you go through these breakthroughs. You find something new. And I imagine it's the same with all kinds of artists, particularly with what I've been noticing, particularly over the last couple of years with comedians, because I guess I've wanted to laugh more when life is throwing me lemons. Psychologically, I probably wasn't in the best place as a human being over the last 3 years, and one of my, escape's not the right word, but one of my solaces, I guess is a decent word to use, was being able to laugh, bring things back into balance. Two comedians in particular that everybody, of course, knows Dave Chappelle, but I love watching Bill Burr as well. And seeing those two guys evolve, Dave in particular, I mean, the stream of consciousness that guy goes through when he does his sets is pretty phenomenal. And you only get that way by continuing to practice your craft. The skill, sports figures are exactly the same. Michael Jordan, Tom Brady. I mean, who would have thought that dude would have won another Super Bowl at Tampa Bay at his age, right? But it's because of his disciplined approach to his craft. And you continue to do that same thing every day with a specific goal in mind, specific mindset. All of a sudden, you'll break through, and you'll be performing at a higher level. So, needless to say, sleep is huge because there are all kinds of things that I want to do in 2022. In which I'm performing at a higher level, not only at my job, but also with our workouts. By the way, I feel great today. We worked out on Monday, and I hit personal bests in the deadlift and in bench press, I think. I think back in the day when I was a younger man, like, early parts of undergraduate in college, I don't think I ever bench pressed both 45s on each side, which is 225 pounds total plus the bar. But I did bench 215 on Monday, one time. And I deadlifted both 45s on either side, which is deadlifting 225. But the funny thing about that is that I did that 3 times, so it actually felt like I could do more on the deadlift because I finally figured out the form and which muscles are being used. I talked about that on a prior podcast. Anyway, we're back at the gate. Apologize for the boringness of the recap there. I was just kind of rambling for probably about 5 minutes. But here we are coming back on base and wrapping up. Ooh, they're opening up a new gate. So let's see if we can make our way over there. Oh, there's a car behind me. I didn't put my turning signal on. That's my bad. But I'll go in the new aisle. I gotta remember to get mail done today. There's thank you cards that we gotta send out to my parents, my wife's mother, and my sister-in-law, and the kids' Auntie Bonnie for sending nice Christmas presents to everybody. I also gotta pay our electric bill. All right, here we go. Coming on base. Morning, sir. Do I pass?
We'll see you loaded.
B minus. Sometimes it takes their scanner a little bit of time, and I'm okay with that. Heading on back to work. Not a whole heck of a lot of big projects for me to work on right now. I got a ton done in December, so we'll see what January is going to hold. But one of the things I did do yesterday to close down the podcast, my wife loves to decorate. And obviously one of her favorite times of year to decorate is the Christmas season. So back when we got back from our Thanksgiving ski weekend, we came home, we started decorating for Christmas. And once the new year hit, and we got back from our friend's house in Colorado Springs, my wife had to go pick up the kids. The next day, we didn't do shit. My wife worked on a puzzle that every year we do a 1,000-piece puzzle. This year is Flash Gordon. I found my old video games and was playing Tomb Raider. My son was playing Minecraft on my phone. My stepson, he was playing on his Xbox. My stepdaughter, she was just watching videos on the computer. So it was like almost the whole day we spent just chilling in front of the screens and just doing, fun little activities. I don't know why I started saying that. Oh yeah, because there's Denver. Denver in the foreground, Rocky Mountains in the background. Woohoo! That's usually our sign-off point. So I'll finish with this. My wife didn't want to do a whole heck of a lot. So the next day she went to work. The kids had off. I had them help me de-decorate the tree and put the tree away. And then yesterday I put everything else away, which takes the burden off of my lady. Because, she worked. Yesterday she worked. She came home at, what the fuck time was it? It was like 7:30. She goes in at 6. She did a 12-hour day yesterday. Not 6. She goes in at about 6:37, around there. But she basically did a 12-hour day. And I didn't want her to have to come home and look at that pile of Christmas shit that needed to be put away. That was just going to add some stress to whatever psychology she had going on. So when I brought the kids home, I picked them up a little bit earlier yesterday and had time just to put everything away. And it only took me like 45 minutes to put all of our Christmas stuff away. So it's all stacked up in the garage, ready to go for next Christmas, and my wife's got no stress. So if that helps you guys in any way, shape, or form, motivate you to help somebody else out today, well then, for God's sakes, do it. So I throw that out at you. Throw that little challenge out at you. Get yourself a good night's sleep tonight, and I'll smell you tomorrow.